I get 8 hours of sleep. I prioritize it. I am very focused on it, and for me, I need 8 hours of sleep. I think better. I have more energy. My mood is better. All these things. And think about it. As a senior executive, you get paid to make a small number of high-quality decisions, and they should just be as high quality as I can make them. Warren Buffett says he's good if he makes 3 good decisions a year.
Yeah, I have 2 rules.
Oh, okay.
Rule number 1, always have fun. Rule number 2, listen to rule number 1.
I used to work at a car wash. I made $30 a day from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. So they basically let you know you gotta live off your tips. So you gotta really go hard. And so I used to let them know I'd do anything for you. I'll wash the car. If you leave me $20, I'll fill your tank up. If you left me with enough time, I'll put your cassettes in alphabetical order. I think that may be the small difference between the ones who really go get it and the ones who just talking.
You get one life, and out that one life, you're only gonna get out of it what you put into it. And never being okay with where you are, because after every level is another level, whether you realize it or not. And I always wanted to see what was past the thing that I got. I got here, but what's back there? I was never content with being here.
Don't post everything you think. Don't. Just don't. If you're watching this right now, if anybody is watching this, don't post your feelings. Don't do it to yourself.
Even if I do a good job, I always wonder, how I could have done it better. I rarely celebrate anything. And just for anyone watching this that's wondering how this happened, that's really the answer. It's being so unsure how you're getting it done that you just kind of keep going in the hopes of figuring out the formula. Feeling so lucky and blessed that the fear of losing it keeps you up at night.
Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. And that's priceless to me.
But I'm here because
I don't care. You enjoy having a man be able to tell you fired? Okay, let me ask you a question. So you're being selfish. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you can pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think? Yeah, all right, but don't you have to wake up at 4 in the morning? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there, Dash, or whatever your last name is, instead of somebody else's? My pride is in my children. If that's not what you're hustling for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you.
As soon as the car left the driveway of the school, I said, I'm moving to New York and I'm going to be an actor. And my mom paused for probably a half a second, and she said, great, go do it. The only thing I ask you is, in 2.5 or 3 years, if you don't have any sense that this is going to happen, you have to make me one promise. And I said, what? And she said, you got to pull yourself out, because as your mother, you can't ask me to tell you to give up on your dreams. I said, that's so profound, and yes, fair. Cut to 2.5 years later, I was like, so I'm out. This is terrible. It's so scary. And she said, it's September. Just wait it out. Just wait till the end of the year. Don't give up just yet. I was telling her to come get me. And 3 weeks later, I got the office.
It is a sure sign that you're going to end up in a great place when you give great detail to little things. Excellence doesn't start when the lights come on. Excellence doesn't start when the crowd gathers. Excellence doesn't come when everybody's watching. Excellence is nurtured in mediocrity. If you cannot manage the little things, you'll never be able to manage the big things. If the little things overwhelm you, if you complain and collapse about little things, you'll never be ready for the greater things that God is about to do in your life.
Here's how you know if someone's your friend. You can tell them bad news, and they'll listen. They won't tell you why, you're stupid and why that bad thing happened to you and how something worse happened to them once and, derail the whole conversation. You can actually tell them bad news and they'll listen. This is a weirder thing. You can tell them good news and they'll help you celebrate. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. The Bible says he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night. I'm gonna ask you one question, I'm gonna go. How many of you in here know somebody who loves to sleep? Let me ask you something. Ain't they Poe?
High performance people fly like eagles. Eagles fly alone. Zuckerberg has no mates. Elon Musk has no mates. Steve Jobs had no mates. Bill Gates has no mates. And I can go on and on and on and on. They don't hang. They don't chill. They don't go to the Super Bowl. They don't go to the World Cup. They don't go to Wimbledon. All they do is work. I fall into that category.
You got 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you sleep, and most people work a 9 to 5. So 8 hours you working. Okay, so we had 16 hours. You got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we'll be at night. There's 19. Take you an hour to get ready. So we had 20 hours. So you guys cannot spend 4 hours going talking about, oh, they lying. Oh, I like this photo. Oh, they faking. Sending photos to other people. Y'all got to get focused. I'm where I'm at because I'm focused. Tunnel vision. I'm focused on what I got to do. Y'all got to have a game plan.
If you didn't make it in your 20s, you can make it in your 30s. And if you didn't make it in your 30s, you can make it in your 40s. And if you didn't make it in your 40s, you can make it in your 50s. And just remember Grandma Moses. She was a painter. And she didn't start painting until, I think, in her 80s. And one of the most prolific painters.
Never too late.
Never too late.
Never
So have
too late.
fun. That's what it's all about.
You don't trust that someone's never going to betray you. You just trust that you'll be able to handle it if they do. That you'll be able to walk away. That's a massive key to it. Stop worrying about whether you can trust someone else. Maybe you can't. We don't know that. Only time will tell if you can trust somebody else. That is a pointless waste of your energy to worry about. Worry only about yourself.
Life is short and it's fragile, and we don't know how many birthdays we have. So we don't have to have a birthday to celebrate. Just celebrate life. And if you haven't told someone you love them, do it now. Do it. Tell people you love them. Call your friends, text your friends, hug them, kiss them.
Losses are part of life. I've lost in kickboxing, I've lost in boxing, I've lost in life, I've lost in love, I've lost in family. Like, life is, you don't just win all the time. It's wins and losses. So you roll with the punches. Pun.
You see, if you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who never cut you. I gotta be honest with you, when it comes to relationship pain and when it comes to heartbreak, it's a drive-through only matter. You can't go around it, you can't avoid it. The only way to get over it is to actually face it and drive through it.
I'm dead, I'm in heaven, you're God. I imagine it was a big long line and you got judgment. David, congratulations, you made it to heaven, how you feel? And right now I'm a 300-pound man. You pull the paper down, it says David Goggins. I'm reading it. And it has my name, but on this paper, it says everything about you. Everything, because God knows all. 185 pounds, Navy SEAL, changed people's lives. All these amazing things. I look at God and say, God, the name is right, but what's on here is not me. He goes, it should have been you. This was the life that you were supposed to live, but you didn't try. So this is the life that you have.
I'm alone and look at me. There's nobody around me. Nobody likes me, man. It is what it is. Sometimes in life, people are not going to be around you to motivate you. They're not going to be around you to push you, to celebrate you, to applaud you. You got to do it on your own. That's what I'm doing right now.
I want you guys to be all in. I want you to be all in. That's what Coach Sweeney said. Yes, sir. And the only disability in life is a bad attitude.
One thing I learned in life, you can never bring somebody up if they don't want to go up. You can't. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how much you want to tell them, you could help them. If they don't want to go up, there's nothing you can do. 100%. But the reverse is not true. Somebody bad could bring a good person down, because the negativity in the world is much, much stronger than the positive sometimes. And the negative people can bring you down. So I stay away from negative people. I just walk away from them.
My high school English teacher, Mr. Fisk, I actually paid attention one time in class. And he said, he had this beautiful quote, and it read, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now. I have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never ever rest in the middle.
The fact that I'm gonna die one day and that everyone around me is gonna die and no one will remember me after a certain point makes me feel so good. Like, because I could do the best thing in the world and nobody would remember it ever, and I'll die and it won't matter, and everyone else around me will die and it won't matter. Or I could do the worst thing in the world and that won't matter because I'll die eventually. So you don't really have to worry that much.
First we shine the shoes, then we own the shoe shops. First we make the sandwiches, then we own the restaurants. First we clean the houses, then we own every house on the block. And then we believe in ourselves, we work hard, we take full advantage of the American dream and the opportunity. And then we end up with a Hollywood star on the block in Los Angeles. Play with it.
Either you work hard for it, or you don't work hard for it. Well, me and my brother, we work hard for our stuff. It don't come easy. In life, you have to work. Either you want to be the shark of the ocean, or the fish of the ocean. And right now, we want to be the shark. Take over everything. Strength, no weakness. Power, the muscle. Have to have that mindset. So you're going to come in here and dominate.
A lot of people would look at someone in my position right now and think, she's really got her shit together, you know? Like, she's really on it, like, she's got it all. And as far as, like, my personal life goes, I really have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And I just want to say that if you're someone out there who has no idea what this next chapter is going to bring, you're not alone in that.
God didn't promise us a problem-free life. We ain't never gonna have that. You're never gonna experience life and feel like, you know what, everything is good all the time. But there has to be something inside of you, even right now today, that decides you're gonna win no matter what. No matter what comes at you, no matter what was already said about you, no matter if you don't have your parents, no matter if you don't have family, you have to know and decide today, right now, that you are going to be one of the ones in this room that wins.
Einstein said that if you cannot tell your goal to a 6-year-old child and have the 6-year-old child explain it to another 6-year-old child and both of them understand it, then you don't know what your goal is yourself. So ask yourself, is your goal so clear that you could tell it to a 6-year-old child, and the 6-year-old child would not only understand what the goal, but could tell you how close you are to it?
The reason why grandmama's cooking was so good, because she didn't cook Sunday dinner, Sunday evening, she started Saturday night. She let it marinate overnight, that's why it was so good. The reason why your gift is not like all these other gifts that are so microwavable is because God's put something in you that is too great. And you gotta know that what's inside of you is so great that it's taking a little bit longer because God did not call you to be microwavable.
I didn't have an easy experience. I didn't come in as a top-rated recruit. I didn't come in with the opportunity to play right away. I had to earn it. And you know what the greatest honor I've ever received as a player is? In my 4th year and my 5th year, I was named team captain. That, to this day, is the single greatest achievement I've ever had as a football player. Because the men in this room chose me to lead their team.
When you seek revenge, you destroy yourself. And that's the paradoxical conflict that we all live in. Someone has mistreated us. We want revenge, but if we take it, we hurt ourselves more. The only answer is loving kindness. And most of us don't want to hear that. It's like, I'll take my chances with revenge.
When I was born, the doctors told my parents that I would be dead within the first 24 hours of my life. 35 years later, all those doctors are dead, and I am the only doctor that remains. Never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you.
Only the disciplined ones are free in life. If you are in discipline, you are a slave to your moods. You are a slave to your passions. The best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago. The second and the best time is today.
No matter what you've done, you have the right to be forgiven. I don't let nobody hold me to the mistakes I made. Look, man, once God forgive me, I'm through with you. You can feel how you want to feel about me, but you can't drive your car looking in the rearview mirror. See, you got to get your eyes off the past and look at where you're going.
If you want me to be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy. If you want me to be the good guy, I'll be the good guy. But I have no problem being both. Sometimes it's better to be the bad guy, because then you know really what the person think about you. Because when they say they like you, you don't know if they like you. But when they say they hate you, then you know they really hate you. But I'm make haters become my fan. That's my problem. So I need more haters.
When I was 20, I was a garbage man. I worked the back of the truck, 22 square blocks. That's hard. Doing movies, there's nothing that we do in the movies that's hard.
I used to deliver for United Parcel Service on a truck.
Right.
That was hard.
Yeah.
This is a joke.
Last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad.
You may have arms and legs, but unless you know three things. Number one, who are you and what your value is? Number two, what is your purpose here in life? And number three, what is your destiny when you're done here? If you don't know the answers of any of those three questions, you're more disabled than I.
Where you are now is just a reflection of your past thoughts, your past thinking. So if you want to change your future, you got to change your thoughts now and then put them into action ultimately.
Winning's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. And sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice. Winning requires all of you and then more, and it promises you nothing. It's a mastermind of creating fear and doubt in your mind. It causes setback after setback. So the question is about winning. Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown?
There will be times when you seemingly face insurmountable obstacles, but that's when you dig deep into your soul for the courage and the fortitude to keep going and to never forget that despite life's detours, you are destined for greatness.
My name is Kobe Bryant. I'm 17 years old. I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. It's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
Make sure that you are talking to yourself in a way that is loving and supportive. It became clear to me at a certain point in my life, I realized that when I am in crisis, when I have quote unquote f***ed up, my response is, you f***ing idiot. Of course, what did you expect? If I spoke to my friends like I used to speak to myself, I would have no friends. If you do talk to yourself out loud, and I do, make sure that the words are loving and supportive and nourishing. Start the work of being your own best friend.
Oh, relationships are tough. No, they're not. They're only tough when one person's working on it. That's right. Two people can move a couch real easy. One person can't move it at all. Stop competing. It's not a fucking competition. Her success is your success, and your success is her success. There is no equality in a relationship. You're both there to serve. You are in the service industry, okay?
Question for yourself. What is impossible? Never accept the limitations of someone else. Somebody told you that it's impossible. Don't even try. Give up before you even fucking try it for yourself. Never accept the goddamn limitations that someone else has placed upon you. Decide for your fucking self what is your limitation. Try it, you son of a bitch. Try it for your fucking self. Then that is the only fucking way to know if you can or can't do something.
My number one message to entrepreneurs, and I teach today, is never pursue entrepreneurship for the greed of money. It has nothing to do with it at all. The whole reason to be an entrepreneur is the pursuit of freedom. That's why you do it. You do it because you want to be free one day to do whatever you like. I'm here because I want to be here. I don't have to be here. I don't even have to ever listen to a phone call again if I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. I enjoy spending my time doing the things that I want to do.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions. So to me, what failure is the mother of all success. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan getting cut from his 9th grade basketball team, he wouldn't have became Michael Jordan. You got people like Walt Disney, who got fired, if I'm not mistaken, from a newspaper saying he had no imagination. You know that all they can do is learn and come back bigger, better, stronger, because all it's going to do is lead you in the right direction. See, if you're always winning, then you don't really understand what it is to win.
You can love someone and still choose to say goodbye to them. You can miss a person every day and still be glad that they're no longer in your life.
This is the gap when we start. This is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You got to come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you got to keep going up. That's why closing that gap got to be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you got to leave them behind, because you getting to the point now where you got to start cutting out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't look back when you cut them out, because if they meant to be there, they're going to be there.